Hey there, Caden WXers. Caden here, and today we'll be looking at a upcoming severe weather system about to impact the Great Lakes, and there's actually an event happening right now. We'll take a quick look at that right for a second, but it isn't on my main list since the SPC is about to update the thingy at 2 o'clock today, and the same storm system will slightly impact a little bit of Michigan. Now, let me just pause this for a second. So, as we can see, here's where the storm threat is happening today. You can see, here I'll go back in the runs to show you what has happened today. I'm going to go all the way back to the 15Z. Perfect. So, as you can see, I want you to take a quick look for this general region. This is where you're going to be seeing the event happen. So it turns from a couple showers to this big boom of showers and thunderstorms, quickly expanding but then dying off. And the thing happening, and I'm guessing you're probably wondering, wait a minute, what's happening over uh, in Illinois? Like, what in the world is going on? Well, Illinois and Wisconsin, I should say. Well, you're seeing a storm system which is starting to end in Grand Rapids right now. Uh, Nothing to worry about anymore. I'll head back to current so you can see. Let's go to 0Z. So, you can see it. This is right now, and it kind of just goes into this. But watch closely. You can see some. So, for southeast Michigan, mostly, basically the entire state of Michigan, actually, sorry. If you are in northern Michigan right now, I need you to be kind of prepared. If you live in a low-lying area, with seeing the direction of the storm, when you see storms like this going in this general direction in this long of a line, especially in areas like these, uh, just be kind of ready for some areas to rise up in water a little bit, because you can actually see the just another line of storms follow it, and it looks like it's some pretty heavy rain. So I'm gonna need you to check out. I'll look at the total uh rain in a second. But as we continue, here's when the isolated threat, goes from that to more southern of the area, uh, slightly affecting the southeastern area of western Michigan, heading into East Michigan as more isolated thunder boomers pop up. Now, you're already wondering, hey Kane, what the heck are we watching? Well, you can see the storm form miles and miles away. As you can see, it's just doing its thing, but it's starting to collide with some warm, unstable air from the Gulf of Mexico. As we've seen, not so long ago, we had a cold front come in, or yeah, a cold front came in, and these isolated thunder showers and stuff, that's a warm front entering the area. Overall, the day looks like it's gonna be a nice day, but over in Illinois, and especially Chicago. Chicago, I know you've already dealt with one round today, but get ready for round two. As we see on this model here, it looks like a bow echo. I'm not going to raise an alarm, but it looks definitely interesting as I'm pulling these frames together. Uh, this is more of an evening threat, and it's moving fast. If you're anywhere within this line, be prepared. Tomorrow, you might see some damaging winds. Probably accessing, I'm gonna say 60 to maybe an isolated threat of 70-mile-per-hour winds happening. Yeah, around the area. So when I say that, it doesn't mean you're gonna have that. No. So there's pockets and areas of storms that are strong and weak, and some are mid-level. What you're seeing here looks like it's a very questionable storm system, but as it goes along, it just continues and continues, and it looks like it's still going to be strong as it sweeps through the area of Michigan. Sorry, northern lower peninsula Michigan, you aren't going to get on any of the action because of the storms. The night before, all that unstable air just went into those storms. I'm sorry, you're not going to get any threat. Maybe a TSTM to marginal threat. As you can see, there's a bit of some showers and thunderstorms to form. And it really quickly, you can see it as soon as it passes over southeast Michigan, it dies pretty fast. You see more of these little lines forming to the south, but an enhanced risk might be needed for areas in this general area. As we can see that bow echo. I'm sorry for saying it's bow echo. I don't know yet, but it's got this bow shape to it. As you can see, it's like a backward C. As you can see, like from here, you can see it from here, stretched down all the way through 3 states. So if you live in Grand Rapids, Chicago, and just anywhere in these areas, please be careful tomorrow. Power outages, flooding, and isolated 60 to 70 mile per hour winds for me are going to be my main threat for you guys. Now, despite the thing saying when I pull it up saying marginal risk, especially for over here, I don't know how to feel on that. I don't know what they're going to do, but this does not look marginal risk. You can see those heavy downpours, and I'll pull up the wind gusts. I'm going to need to take some more time. I'm going to set an alarm just for 2 a.m. just to see when the damage outlook comes out. I wish I had my radar so I can watch this for you guys, but my free trial on it is expired. But good news on Christmas, I'm gonna get it. It costs $100. That's why it's a really expensive radar set. But when I had it, I was in love with it. Trust me, it is a amazing radar set. It is the GR Level 3. So if you know a lot about weather, I recommend looking it up and trying to get it. Now, all these little cell areas, good news. Tornadoes is not the main threat. I'd say a 2% tornado risk might need to be put into play because of storms like this can sometimes cause some little spin ups, and because here, when you're in the water and when you push back off of something, you see these little things form, right? These little swirls. This is what this is. See it? So I'll pull up the updraft map, and also over here there's another little bow forming, but it looks like it quickly dies off. Not so worried about the Northeast. I know the people in the Northeast are like, hey, isn't that storm system gonna hit us? It's gonna be not as bad when it hits ya. This video might be a little extra long, you guys. I'm sorry, but I've been tracking this for almost 7 to 8 days now. I made a video on it 6 days ago, so this was a pretty good timing for me, and it feels nice to get this right. I predicted this a long time ago. But let's move on to that's not the only threat with this storm. Everyone, I know it seems like, hey, heat waves are over. Nope. This is what's going to be helping on to that storms. Here's the wind chill and heat index. Also, I'd like to remind you, look up here, there's that thing. But let me continue this. As we can see, as we continue, tonight it's going to be really nice, campfire weather-ish. Well, we've kind of already passed that time. It was a really hot and humid day today. So, uh, I won't be surprised if you're like, hey, I was pretty sweaty today. That's going to hang on for one more day. Remember a long time ago when I said it's going to be hot, hot, hot? But then at the end of the week, it's going to be pretty chilly. That's exactly what we're seeing going on to play. You can actually see the bow echo here. 70-degree temperatures running into 95-degree temperatures right here. Or at least the wind chill and heat index, that all put together. It is just pretty impressive seeing how it cools down. So that's why I'm saying that this storm might have a good threat for storms and damaging winds. You got some cold dry-ish. It doesn't look as dry. I'll pull up the dew point in a second. It's gonna take a second to die down. But you got this cold, dry out. I'm gonna have to take a look real quick in a second. But you got this more chilly. It's not chilly, but it's like just humid air. Just this cold air, I'm gonna say for now, running into this hot, humid air. This is the heat index, and we're seeing 95-degree temperatures. If you are having yard work tomorrow, a heat advisory, I would say, would have to be put in place for this system. Hot, humid air leads to possibilities of having heat exhaustion, which can make you kind of sick and everything like that. And with school starting soon, you do not want to get sick for the first day of school. Actually, yes, I forgot. Some schools will be opening tomorrow. So be careful, people on the way back. If you are hit on the early parts of this storm, be careful. Looks like dry. I mean, you wouldn't want to be out in this huge storm that might be put into place. Just be careful for me. Do not do anything rational, like don't pick them up early. Just be careful of and be aware of the incoming storm threat the day before. And here comes that cold air. The night before you had 70-degree temperatures. It was beautiful. We go to the end of the run. Some areas over here in Montana, so let me show you what it's like right now. This evening is being near 70 degrees, and next evening it's 73. It is just nice air, and then it goes down to the lower 50s, and that's just the beginning. Evening, it's gonna be 68, 69 degrees. I know, funny number, ha ha ha. But that's just about it. Tuesday, not looking as bad. So it doesn't look like you'll have to worry that much. Tuesday, I'd say isolated, not isolated severe threat, but isolated thunderstorm threat. Not really anything gonna happen. So the timing is now not Tuesday, but Monday. I'm gonna say it's official. Monday is your main storm threat. Now the question is the timing. It seems like it's gonna be a more evening threat, and plus in the evening, the max temperatures are out. It's more humid. It's just prime storm weather with stuff like this. Now let me pull up the actual temperature so I can talk more about that. Those work conditions, especially if you're working yard work. Here are the actual temperatures. Temperatures tomorrow going around 87 degrees. Here's the 18. So this is 18Z. 80, the upper 80s. Some areas near 85. But when I pull up the heat index and go around that same time frame, it's a whole different story. Heat indexes are going to the 93s. An area that was 85 feels like 91. That's not even it, guys. It is gonna be 90, feel like 95 and stuff. But when I pull up the regular temperature, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be that bad. The actual temperature around the same time frame is gonna be like 90. It's the dew point that's gonna be kicking us up here. So let's take a quick look there. I'm gonna also take a look at relative humidity. Again, sorry this is gonna take longer than a usual episode. It's just that I'm so ready for this storm because of how well I predicted it. I predicted it 6, 7 days ago. So it's just so nice getting the early start in front of everybody. So here are the 70 degree, 60 degree, upper 60 degree dew points. I know, oh, I'm not in 70, dude. You're 68 degree dew points. You're in 69 degree dew points. It's humid, all right. Don't. But as that front sweeps in on on Tuesday evening, the dew points are going to be in 58. Some areas 50, 48, 47. Like these dew points are low, especially out over here. Ooh. But that's not where the storm threat is. Uh, but it's still like here. Let's just watch one specific area. This county right here. Here are the dew points. Watch this. They just keep on dropping. So it goes from 71 degree dew points to 58 degree dew points by the end of the run. That looks like a cold, dry air mass pushing in to the area. As you can see, it kind of just demolishes the dew points. I wouldn't say demolish, but it brings them down 100%. It's not going to bring them down instantly, but it's going to bring them down pretty fast. 6-hour QF. Let's see here. Oh, some areas in northern Michigan, as I was saying, 3 inches of rain in 6 hours. That is insane. Let me check 1 hour. 1 hour shouldn't be too bad. Because it's 1 hour. Let's see. Yeah, some areas receiving an inch of rain in an hour. That is almost 2 inches in some spots. So be careful for some isolated flooding if you're in northern Michigan. Uh, so yeah, that's it. That's it for that. And another, not a big threat, but something to push that storm potential to its greatest degree. Some areas right now, what is this? 47 mile per hour wind gusts. That's around Metro Chicago. I'm not a Chicago dude, so. Yeah, and here you can see that isolated storm threat over here. It's gonna be pretty windy in some of those storms, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be prime severe weather. You're gonna be like, oh, it looks pretty calm. I mean, some pockets of 31 wind gusts. It's not that bad. Oh, you just wait. Toward the beginning of the day. Oh, remember that one storm we were talking about? Let's watch it grow into intensification on the model. You can actually see it. 60 mile per hour, and it just expands. Here's that threat. Some areas picking up 74 mile per hour. That does not mean it's going to happen, but there's a good chance. So be careful. As we see, oh, come on, it keeps on doing that. Sorry. We could just see it still. So there's Grand Rapids. You can see it push, push, push. If I feel like if you're in the thumb of Michigan, you have apparently, according to this, it seems like you have a good potential for some stronger winds, but it still pushes in 57 mile per hour in some spots. Just look at that and go. This is a good storm, and uh, it's gonna be going into my records for this season because if I did this last season, there'd be so many storms I wouldn't be able to keep count last season. But this season has been dead. I was expecting more above average season because of the La Nina, but we might not see that. And remember, storm season lasts into November, so I'm gonna keep on watching for severe storms, you guys. So, and after the front hits, you can still see some of those wind gusts lingering around throughout the day, bringing down those wind. Might put a little wind chill in the air, just a little. But you can see the streams of air feeding on this storm. Now let's go into the last part of our storm thingy. Alright, so as we can see, here is today's threat. Here's the categorical. We have a slight risk for Minneapolis. I pronounced that wrong. And kind of just area of slight risk around here, as we can see. But we also have a marginal risk around Grand Rapids for the rest of that system. I'd say you have a chance of some isolated damaging winds over here as well. The tornado risk, we have a 5%. A tornado watch is actually in place for parts of Minnesota. So please be careful if you're in the 5%. That's where you'll see, that's where people have seen a few tornadoes today. But I believe that tornado watch is about to expire. The wind, you know what? Most of this doesn't even matter right now due to it being near the end of the day. Now let's move on to day 2. As we can see, I know what you're thinking. Caden, what is wrong with this? Why is it only put out a slight risk right here? This should 100% be expanded out a little bit more. We might see that. I'm still waiting. That's why I'm waiting. Because it has just been a roller coaster. There's that tornado threat. It's nothing. If I go to the wind threat, wind seems to be the main threat along, I'd say, with the fast amount of rain coming down. A slight potential for some flooding. I'll put out the excessive rainfall outlook in just a second, right after this. So there's the wind threat. If you're in the 15%, you'll see more widespread severe weather. But if you're in the 5%, expect isolated, which I do kind of expect. Don't quote me again. This slight risk might be expanded out into southeast Michigan, into northern Ohio, northeastern Ohio. So basically, all here might be put into a slight risk with what we've seen on the models. The hail threat is also not that bad, but on the HRRR, I didn't really want to, I forgot to pull it up, but there was a few updraft helicities going through. In those updrafts, you'll possibly see little mesos, but I don't want to say tornadoes. Tornadoes is not the main threat. Again, don't, when I say meso, that doesn't mean, oh my gosh, he's talking about tornadoes. You might see a spin up, from that pushback, but it's a really low chance. And if we look at the hail threat, well, I already pulled that up. Uh, you'll the hail again isn't the main threat, but you might want to have those, windshield protectors ready with those updraft helicities running through the state, running through these states. So just be careful around that. And the day 3 is just, it's nothing. Don't expect anything to happen at all. Day 4 through 5, again, getting, actually, there's a potential. Day 4 is a predictability too low, but day 5 through 8 is a potential too low, so we're probably not going to see any severe weather anytime soon. But the GFS pulled up a little bit of something uh, today, so I'm going to be watching that, and I'm going to need to keep on watching as we are entering into the next era of tornado season, which is fall. And like we saw Mayfield last year, it can get pretty shifty out here in fall and winter in that battle zone of clashing and stuff. So don't, especially for areas like Kentucky, uh, Texas, Illinois, just Tennessee, North Carolina, just all these areas in general, could see a few rounds of storms to come through during the fall. Do not quote me. Uh, Weather predictors are not always right. Now I'll show you the excessive rainfall outlook real quick just to put your mind on it. Alright everyone, this is the excessive rainfall outlook. As we can see, there's a marginal chance of flooding, and in those areas, and there might be a little pocket of flash flooding throughout these areas of Michigan, but more than likely won't happen. Grand Rapids, I'd say, is the most likely area you could see quick flash flooding from heavy rainfall, but it's not the main heavy rainfall place. So don't expect anything rational or big to happen. Here's day 2, more of that potential for excessive rainfall. As we can see, there is a marginal risk throughout Michigan. So you can see that going all the way down, almost consuming the entire state of Illinois there, and kind of just all of that. And I know you're seeing these little thing here. Ignore that. That's just average Florida for you, and South Carolina and stuff, and Georgia and whatever. All right, if we go to day 3, it's practically just the remnants of what we saw. So no widespread flooding is going to be happening in my book. So I'm gonna say
the last thing I'd like to say is, uh, if you have any big plans tomorrow, do not cancel them yet. But if I start making a video and if you're under a slight risk, I'd say, you know, make sure you take a quick gander at a radar or have a NOAA radio handy. And if a watch gets issued, start saying, hey, maybe we might have to put this indoors or something like that. If you're working outside, have some water ready for the excessive heat that is about to arrive for just a day. It's a miniature heat wave, but you can get over it. We've seen worse this year. So, on that, Stout, everyone, have a great day. Later.